Here's something nobody tells you about old money families. They don't talk about money, not at dinner, not at parties, not even with their closest friends. And yet, generation after generation, they stay wealthy. So, the question isn't what they're saying, it's what they're doing, quietly, every single day, that everyone else completely misses. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 10 of those habits. Stay until the end, because habit number 10 is the one that changes everything. Before we get into these, I want to be clear about something. This video isn't about pretending to be rich. It's not about buying things you can't afford to look a certain way. Old money families, real ones, the kind whose wealth has survived wars, recessions, and 3 or 4 generations of heirs, they don't operate like that at all. What makes them different is behavioral, not material. These are disciplines. And the beautiful thing about disciplines is anyone can adopt them. So let's get into it. Habit 1. They never discuss their money with anyone. The very first habit, and honestly the most jarring one when you first encounter it, is financial silence. Old money families consider it deeply vulgar to discuss money in public. Salaries, net worth, what something cost, what a bonus was. None of it gets discussed at the dinner table, at parties, or in polite company. And this isn't just social etiquette, it's a philosophy. When you broadcast your wealth, a few things happen. You attract the wrong kind of attention. You invite comparison. You start making decisions based on how things look rather than how they perform. Old money figured this out centuries ago. Silence is a form of protection. But here's the part that's actually useful for you. This habit extends inward as well. They don't measure their self-worth by their financial worth. They don't need external validation that they're doing well. The wealth is just there, quiet, working in the background. The practical application? Stop broadcasting your wins, financial or otherwise. Start letting your results speak for themselves. The most powerful people in any room are never the loudest ones in it. Habit 2. They buy quality, once and keep it for decades. Old money does not shop the way the rest of us shop. They are not chasing trends. They are not refreshing their wardrobe every season. And they are almost never found at a flash sale. What they do instead is apply what I call the cost per use principle. Before buying anything significant, the internal question is, how many years will I use this? And what does that make the real cost per day? A $600 pair of handmade shoes worn for 10 years costs you about 16 cents a day. The $80 pair that falls apart in a year. Much more expensive in the long run, and it never looked as good. This applies to everything: furniture, luggage, watches, cookware. The focus is always quality over quantity, longevity over novelty. And because of this, old money households tend to have fewer things, but better things. The home feels calm, not cluttered. The mindset shift here is simple. Stop asking, "Can I afford this?" Start asking, "Is this worth owning for the next 10 years?" Habit 3. They read every single day without exception. If there is one habit that separates old money from new money more than any other, it might be this one. And it surprises people every time. They read, consistently, devotedly, not just business books, not just finance, history, philosophy, biography, literature, science. They treat continuous learning as a non-negotiable part of life, the same way they treat sleep or exercise. Think about it. The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the Kennedys. These families didn't just inherit wealth, they inherited perspectives. worldviews built over decades of reading and education. That context is what allows them to recognize opportunities, avoid catastrophic mistakes, and think in decades rather than quarters. Reading is how you build the most valuable thing old money actually has. And it's not money, it's judgment. Start with 30 minutes a day, non-negotiable. Put the phone down, pick up the book. Over 10 years, you will have consumed the equivalent of a second education, one that no one can take from you. Now, we're halfway through the list, and I want to flag something. These habits are deceptively simple. None of them require wealth to start. That's the point. You don't get the habits after the wealth. You get the wealth because of the habits. Keep that in mind as we keep going. Habit 4. They invest slowly, patiently, and without drama. Old money does not day trade. Old money does not chase the latest crypto. Old money does not watch CNBC and make emotional decisions based on what some analyst said about this week's market. What they do is almost boring by comparison. They invest steadily into proven assets, broad market index funds, blue chip equities, real estate, private equity in established businesses, and then they leave it alone. For years, sometimes decades. The reason this works isn't a secret. It's compound interest. The eighth wonder of the world, as Einstein allegedly called it. A portfolio that grows at 8% annually doubles roughly every 9 years. Doubles again 9 years after that. Old money knows this isn't exciting. That's the point. Wealth that's built for generations doesn't need to be exciting. The behavior to model here? Automate your investments. Set them. Stop watching them. The urge to react to market noise is exactly what separates wealth builders from wealth destroyers. Habit 5. They curate their circle ruthlessly and quietly. Here's one nobody talks about. Old money families are extremely deliberate about who they spend time with. Not in an arrogant way, in a strategic, protective way. They understand something that psychology has confirmed repeatedly. You become the average of your 5 closest. Relationships, your spending habits, your ambitions, your tolerance for risk, your work ethic, all of it is shaped, over time, by the people around you. So they curate. They maintain a small network of deeply trusted, accomplished, principled people. They don't collect contacts. They don't name drop. They don't attend every event. What they have instead are a handful of genuine relationships with people who challenge them, protect them, and add real value to their lives. And here's the key detail. They don't announce when they cut someone off. They don't make a scene. They simply, slowly create distance. Quietly, without drama. Because drama itself is something old. Money avoids at all costs. Ask yourself honestly, does your current circle pull you toward the life you want, or away from it? Real quick, if you're finding value in this video, the best thing you can do right now is hit subscribe. We go deep on the old money mindset, style, and lifestyle every week. It's free, and it might be the most useful channel you add to your feed this year. All right, let's keep going. Habit 6. They teach their children about money from the beginning. This might be the single most generational habit on this entire list. Old money doesn't wait for school to teach their children about finance, because school never does, not really. From a very young age, children in these families are taught what money is, where it comes from, how it works, and what it means to be responsible with it. Not through lectures, through involvement. They sit in on conversations. They watch how decisions get made. They're given small amounts to manage, invest, and learn from early. By the time the next generation is an adult, they aren't starting from zero with money. They're starting from a position of understanding, comfort, and discipline. The wealth isn't just transferred, the wisdom is transferred. This is what breaks the generational wealth cycle in families that don't practice it. The first generation builds, the second inherits, the third burns through it because they were never taught. Old money solves this problem in the nursery. If you have children, start the conversation now. If you don't yet, commit to learning what you wish someone had taught you, so you can pass it on. Habit 7. They protect their time more than their money. Here's something that genuinely reframes the way you think about wealth. Old money doesn't see time as something you trade for money. They see time as the only asset that truly cannot be recovered or replaced. Money lost can be earned back. Time lost is simply gone. Because of this, they pay, generously, for things that give them their time back. The cleaning service, the driver, the assistant, the personal shopper. Not as a display of status, as a deliberate investment in the hours of their life that matter. They also say no, frequently, gracefully, without guilt. They have learned, and often through painful experience, that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. The habit to build right now, at any income level. Identify the 3 things in your week that drain your time and produce no real return. Then find a way to eliminate, automate, or delegate one of them this month. That's how you start thinking like old money, regardless of your bank balance. We've got 3 more to go, and these last 3 are the ones that most people will never see coming because they have almost nothing to do with money at all. Habit 8. They remain calm when everyone else is panicking. Old money families have an almost eerie composure in times of crisis, a market crash, a scandal, a family emergency. While everyone around them is reacting emotionally, they are measured, composed, and focused on solutions. This isn't coldness. It's one of the most disciplined things a human being can practice. Emotional regulation under pressure. The reason this matters, financially, the most catastrophic wealth-destroying decisions are almost always made emotionally. Panic selling during a market dip, rage buying an investment out of FOMO, making a major life decision while under stress. Old money has seen enough cycles to know that the worst time to make a decision is when your emotions are running the meeting. They cultivate composure the same way they cultivate any other habit, through practice, through mindfulness, through the simple discipline of pausing before reacting always. The next time the market drops, or a situation feels urgent and frightening, wait 24 hours before deciding anything. That pause is worth more than most financial strategies. Habit 9. They give quietly and consistently. You will almost never see old money philanthropy on a billboard. You won't see them posting donation receipts. You won't hear them announce at the dinner party that they gave to charity last week, but they give substantially, consistently, and in ways that are deeply personal to them. This isn't just admirable, it's strategic. Old money understands that generosity creates goodwill, community ties, and a reputation that outlasts any individual. The family name becomes synonymous with integrity, not just wealth. And that name, that reputation, opens doors for the next generation that money alone never could. There's also something less transactional at work. Giving consistently changes your relationship with money. It moves you from a scarcity mindset, I have to hold on to everything, to an abundance mindset, There is enough, and I can share it. That psychological shift, ironically, tends to attract more wealth, not less. Find a cause. Give to it quietly. Make it a habit, not an event. Habit 10. Every decision is made for the next generation, not the next quarter. This is the one. The habit that sits underneath all the others. The reason old money stays old money while new money so often disappears within a generation or two. Old money thinks in decades, in generations. When they make a significant decision, an investment, a business move, a piece of real estate, an education choice for their children, the question is never how does this benefit me right now? The question is always how does this look in 20 years? What does this mean for the people who come after me? That one shift in time horizon changes everything. It makes you more patient with your investments, more selective with your relationships, more intentional with your home, more careful with your reputation, more committed to your health. Because your health is a gift you either give or deny to your future self and your family. This is the habit that is genuinely hard to adopt, because we live in a culture that is obsessed with the immediate, the instant result, the next dopamine hit. Old money, almost by definition, has opted out of that culture entirely, and their wealth, quietly, patiently, reflects it. Ask yourself one question before every significant decision you make from this point forward. Will the person I want to be in 20 years thank me for this? If the answer is yes, proceed. If it isn't, don't. 10 habits, none of them loud, none of them showy, none of them requiring a trust fund or a family name to start. Financial silence, quality over quantity, daily reading, patient investing, a curated circle, financial education for your children, protecting your time, composure under pressure, quiet generosity, and a generational mindset in every decision you make. These aren't secrets because they're hidden. They're secrets because most people are too busy chasing the appearance of wealth to actually build it. Start with one, just one. Pick the habit on this list that resonates most with where you are right now and commit to it for the next 90 days. That's how old money was built, not overnight, one quiet discipline at a time. If this video gave you something to think about, subscribe, because this is exactly what we talk about on this channel. And drop a comment below. Which of these 10 habits are you starting with? I read every single one.